How's it going, YouTube? Well, it's a hot 103-degree Friday as of right now. It's 11:46 in the afternoon. So quick, somewhat shortest video, nothing too exciting. Just gonna do an in-cab review. I am 100 miles over 20,000 miles on this truck. Where's it at? I'm steering now. I'm 20,106 miles as of right now at 11:47. And this truck has been the most amazing purchase I think I've done in a very, very long time. She has been a hard worker. So, I mean, this is a full-on-ish review of how my Ram 3500 HO dually with the ISIN, I don't know how you say it, transmission on this truck. I'm towing my gooseneck dump trailer right now. I had an emergency job to go do. That's gonna be a different video. There was a little bit of entertainment with a Karen that got dispatched to the job I was at. So more information on that in a different video. But so specifically on this truck, there's a few things I don't like about it, but the goods on it outweigh the bads. I mean, like tenfold. It has just been an incredible truck. I was gonna make a list of the things I didn't like. I'm gonna try to shoot everything from my mind, whatever I think of, kind of go from there. I'm trying to like multitask right now, doing a few things I need to do before the day's over and get this video ripped out because I've been really wanting to do it. So, first things first, one thing that I would say that would bug me the most about this truck is how it doesn't really like to shift down into first gear or unlock into second gear when you're pulling super steep and you got to load on. It'll bog the living heck out of the engine. You'll probably drop to about 1200 RPM before the truck will decide to downshift. So that's something you want to take control of. Use the levers right here on the steering wheel to control that shift. Limit the gear so it can stay in that gear. Because there's times where you want to keep it in first gear and the truck's going to want to upshift and it's going to bog and it's going to downshift, but you're going to lose all your momentum and then it's going to try to gain it back up again. So that's one thing. Number two, I kind of wish I got the bigger fuel tank on this truck because I keep on forgetting. It's 32 or 36 gallons, one of the two. Don't get me wrong, I do get a good amount of mileage out of one tank. I don't need to fill up every day, but a good tow day, I'll get a few miles going on a truck. Burning a quarter tank in this truck is nothing. Like that's just a given of what it's going to do for burning fuel. And the DEF side of it, man, I don't have to fill up DEF on this thing for 2 weeks, honestly. It gets like 600-700 miles per gallon of DEF. So DEF is not an issue whatsoever. DEF still sucks, don't get me wrong, but it's not that big of a deal. Those are definitely a few things that I just don't care for about the truck. But overall, still, with those little like hiccups, it's not a make it or break it whatsoever. I don't mind it one bit. From the factory, you can see in my past videos, the OEM tires on this truck are trash. I swapped those out at around 3,000-4,000 miles, and then they're like Nexen China bomb tires. I've heard of tons of failure rates on those tires, so I wanted to get them off the truck as soon as possible because of the weight that I tow. I don't need something like that happening while I'm towing. Might as well delete that issue if possible, sooner than later. So I changed those to BF Goodrich all-terrain tires in those ones. Awesome tires, don't get me wrong, but being snow rated and how they were and the weight that I towed, those ones fried themselves off at around 13,000 miles. Now I have my 19.5s, and they've been working amazing. I wish Ram can make that an option instead of you needing to buy like a 4500 or something like that of a truck. But those are a few things. This guy's gonna actually give me room. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. It's a tight turn right here. So that's awesome. Very rare to find cool people like that to help you out. I lost my train of thought. So yeah, tires. 19.5s. I got BF Goodrich root control tires on the truck now. They're 14 plies, and they've been kicking butt. I love that 19.5 howl. I don't know, it's always entertained me. And then, don't get me wrong, it has that typical 19.5 like squirrel on the roadway. It likes to kind of follow ruts and stuff like that big rigs make. But it's no big deal. I'm kind of used to that. When I used to drive big rig all the time, hauling purple permit loads throughout California and Nevada. I would transport all my own equipment to job sites with my old job. So that was a normal thing. I don't mind that one bit. Definitely, I would upgrade those things right off the bat. You don't have to go 19.5s if you don't need to, but if you're towing gobs amount of weight like I do recommend it, because they're going to last you longer and they're just more structurally sound than your 17s. I mean, and you can, I've seen people sell those 17 wheels that come off these trucks for, you know, this is a Bighorn, but it's like the higher end edition of it, or a Laramie, whatever you got. I see those guys sell their wheels, just the wheels. I've seen them get sold for $1,700 bucks. So I mean, that could be a good down payment to your new sets of wheels and tires if need to be. So that's no big deal whatsoever. See, like right there, it took a second to get down into second gear coming up this grade. I'm going up that stupid steep 8% switchback grade right now, getting some gravel. So tires, yeah, that's done there. A few things I love about this truck: the chairs, the seats are super comfortable. I've heard people complain about it. I don't know what they're complaining about. I mean, you compare this to my old truck or a lot of other cars, and there's nothing wrong with these seats whatsoever. Super comfortable. I've gone on numerous long road trips with this truck already, and I couldn't be more comfortable. You know, I put these seat covers on them. They're Oakley seat covers. Awesome set, and I'm happy I put them on because my seats would have been thrashed by now. I love the interior. The stereo's awesome in this thing. Just, it looks super nice. You know, you're driving like a really nice vehicle when you're in a truck like this. I mean, I don't know about the base model ones. You know, it's your decision on what you want to spend money on. I wish I got the front camera on the truck because this hood is huge on this thing. There's some spots where you're like kind of cresting over something into somebody's property and you can't see anything in front of you. So that's one thing. I mean, but that's an option. You know, that's your own personal decision. I didn't order this truck. I bought it the way it was on the lot. It was pretty much the exact truck I wanted, besides the front camera and having the bigger fuel tank, which I think it was a 50-gallon or a 49-gallon fuel tank from factory, which is a pretty dang cool option. But I was too impatient to wait for an ordered truck. And a lot of people are hooing and hawing about the CP4 on this system. I haven't had a single hiccup. I fill up from one station from my car lock. They have super good clean fuel. Keep up on your maintenance. Don't run the thing on empty. Those are things that make any fuel pump extremely prone to failure when you're running these trucks lower in fuel, because then your fuel gets hot and it reacts that to the pump, all that type of stuff. I've had so much weight on this thing. You know, I'm grossing at 45,000 pounds is the heaviest I've had it, and it handled it phenomenally. The engine brake on this thing is compared to no one else. It is its own amazing system. It works so well. Ford and Chevy, they don't even come close to the Cummins in this truck. It is just absolutely incredible. So I mean, if you actually tow in the mountains like I do, in the hills, Ram is honestly the only way to go. I don't know what your self-preference is, but if you were to have a Ford, you're going to be lighting up and roasting out your brakes all the time if you live on steep hill country. If you're in Texas or Florida, have at it. That's no big deal. Otherwise, the Ram is the way to go. The engine brake, I mean, 225 horsepower of braking horsepower just from the engine alone. And then I got the Diamond C, and then the truck's brakes on this thing are also absolutely massive. So all of that benefits. Coming into the quarry here right now, I gotta get scaled out real quick. I'll be right back. This lady's awesome. The people that run this quarry are cool. All right, so we're back. All right, I just got scaled out. I'm at like 15,000 pounds. Let's get our rock and then keep on doing this review here. Can't wait to be able to afford like an actual tractor trailer, or I mean like a dump truck at least, so I could haul like 14, 17 yards of gravel would be nice. I mean, I could put 7 tons in this trailer, no problem, but it'd be nice to haul 2 times the amount of that. It'd be pretty convenient. We're gonna look at her mob. She hauling. Oh my God, kicking up that dust. Holy turd. So I just came down that 8% grade. I just held second gear because it's like 10 mile per hour switchbacks. I hit the brake around the switchbacks, that is it. And it just held that entire 8% grade. I didn't hit the brakes once, one bit. You cannot do that in a Ford. These trucks, they're just, they're a whole different breed, what they're capable of. I touched my brakes 7 times by the time I just hit the bottom of the stop sign. And then the torque is absolutely amazing. Yeah, but Ford says they got more torque, more horsepower, but the way it's put to the ground, Ram wins. I mean, like, just like when Sam and we tested it last time, between the F350, Tow Piglet's F350 and my truck was towing more weight. This thing just puts the power down to the ground so well. It's incredible. Get these freaking people out of my way. Look at this. What are you doing? Get out of here. Go. Get. Come on. Get. These people come down to the river, just stop right in the middle of the road. Damn minivan drivers. So, I mean, I cannot stress enough how much I love this truck. I love getting into it. I love washing it. She's stupid dirty right now, but I really do try to take care of her. You know, keeping up on all the maintenance the best possible. You know, I'll change the fuel filters and the oil before the truck even tells me to. I'll usually change that stuff at around 25%. So, I mean, everything's on top of it. I'm always on top of it. I'm always keeping records of everything that I do to the truck. I use an app to keep all my records. I forget what the heck it's called. I think it's called like Fuel Buddy or some track. I don't know. I'll list down below. And it is 103 degrees outside right now. I mean, I don't floor it everywhere I go. I'm coming up, this grade right here I'm going up right now is 9%. And my truck and trailer right now, let's see here, I'm at 28,750 pounds combined weight. I'm going up this 9% grade. I'm half throttling it. I'm boosting half 3/4 on boost. And the moment this engine hits to like 220 degrees, the fan clutch kicks on. It'll stay on sometimes if it's hot enough outside, but it'll drop that engine temperature right back down to 210 almost every time. On this grade, it'll stick right around 217, 220 with the clutch on because it's so steep. I just came up this grade this morning with the excavator and the Diamond C, and combined with that, with the trailer and that excavator, I had a few buckets on there and stuff like that too. I think I'm probably sitting around 32,000 pounds combined. It's not much, but the engine temperature never got above 221. and it was already 100 degrees when I was coming up this grade. So, I mean, it's amazing. I love this truck with a passion. There's probably a few things I should have prepared better for this video to really explain to you guys what I love and what I don't like. I think I got to it to the most part. Like if someone were to ask me right off the bat, hey, you know, what do you think about this truck? I'm like, all right, well, you know, my honest, full-on opinion. Here it is. I'm not sugarcoating it. Ram doesn't pay me to drive this truck. I pay for it. I just paid $2,000 registration on this thing because good old California. This truck is my livelihood. From transportation to get me to point A to point B, it does it every single time. I'll tell you one thing for sure that really sucks. The TPMS sensors on these things always go out. I had 2 go out in the time that I had this truck, but now I don't even have to worry about it. I don't even have it anymore because of my new wheels. I didn't even put any TPMS sensors on it. I can care less about that type of stuff. It was kind of nice. I'll check the steer tires once in a while, see what PSI they're at. You know, you can tell a little bit easier if the tires are getting hot or something like that. But it's nothing it's not that big of a deal. Especially now with these new wheels and tires, I'm honestly not worried. Because either your bead's off the tire or you're pumped up full PSI. I'll check the tire pressure. I checked them a few times already ever since I got them replaced. They're still all sitting at 90 PSI, so I'm good there. I'm not too worried about it. Fan clutch is sticking. It's 222 degrees on the engine right now. I'm giving her a little bit of extra beans. I'm not boosting all the way. I'm sitting at about like 28 PSI on boost. I got 35 PSI I can run on the truck. And these trucks, there's no EGT. I can care less what the EGT is. This truck, with all the computers and all the gizmos and gadgets, it's not going to let it hurt itself. If the oil pressure's low, if the EGTs are high, if the oil temperature's too high, this thing will begin to derate itself so it doesn't hurt itself. It'll start reducing power so it can get back up to normal operating temperatures. It's very, very hard to hurt these trucks unless you're just running straight dry on oil or whatever you can do to harm something like this. It's a nearly bulletproof system. I mean, it's almost stupid proof, you know, to a T. But overall, the bed on this thing is huge. They're like the deepest beds in the industry or something like that. They're like 2 feet deep. Like I can't even really reach into the bed without stepping on a tire. So if you haul a lot of stuff, you know, bed-wise, you can put a ton of stuff in there. And I mean, overall, I love this truck. I would 100% buy one again. You know, with my company, we have an F350. I have my partner drive that one. I don't like it. I didn't buy that truck. You know, it just, you know, it was shared between us. But I mean, he drives it. That's his truck to use. I don't like it. It sags. It sags a lot. Like we have a small load trail, you know, a tilt deck trail. We'll put the excavator on. If I need to haul 2 machines, he can at least haul one more to bring it to a job. And that truck, I don't understand. The leaf pack is so different. It rides worse, and it sags more when you have tongue weight. It's really deceptive. It's the weirdest thing ever. I don't understand it completely. But this truck has monster leaf packs, and it has anti-wrap on the leaf pack. I mean, they've done an incredible job. The axle is monstrous on this thing. And, you know, honestly, if anybody has information on the rear axle on these trucks, it's an AAM 12-inch. I can't find the actual rating on this rear axle because on my door tag, it specifies the rear axle is a 10,000-pound axle with the OEM tires. So they're pretty much taking what you have tire-wise to your limitation of weight. And I mean, an old Dana 70 is almost comparable to this axle. So I don't know what the actual limitation or the weight rating of this axle is. I can't find it. Man, there's so much traffic today. If you guys have that information, definitely let me know, or whatever you think, or if you're in that industry, whoever repairs or does gearing and stuff like that. Because as far as I know, this thing is almost rated to an SA110 Dana axle, or an S110 Dana. It's very, very comparable to it. I mean, it's a 12-inch ring gear on this thing. It's huge. The axle's monstrous. The brakes are huge. I mean, they went all out on this truck. Yeah, there's some stupid things here and there that any electronics are going to be weird about or something like that. But overall, if you guys haul in the mountains and you actually tow heavy and you don't want to go fast, because this truck is not fast. If you floor it off the line, you're not going to go anywhere until you hit third gear. Then that torque and that horsepower is really going to hit when you lock up, and then it's going to shoot off. It ain't some drag truck or anything like that. But you know, if I were to race it against the F350, the F350 will kick this thing's butt all day in and out. But if I put the exact same amount of weight and compare it to that truck, this thing will blow it out of the water every time. Even though the F350 has, it's a 10 gear or a 10-speed transmission, this is only a 6. The way that this thing puts the power down to the ground is unmatched. Yeah, I heard some word that they were thinking about putting the Allison transmission in this truck. It's all, I haven't heard anything actually from Ram or anything confirmed. Honestly, Allisons, in my own opinion, are junk. The final drives in those systems explode all the time. It is not an upgrade, if you ask me. A built 47RE is as good or better than those Allison 1000s. Let me know what you guys think. That's my own personal opinion about them. I've seen more final drives blow up on those transmissions than anything. Yeah, you could put anything, yeah, you can upgrade anything you want. But comparison-wise, unless it's like an Allison 15 or a 2000, that's a real transmission. Those are in those medium-duty trucks. If that was actually connected to a truck like this with a 10-speed or even the 6-speed Allison 2000, that would be the ultimate duty system on a system like this. But an Allison 1000, now I'll take an ISN over it any day. I think this transmission will outblow an Allison out of the water every time. The ISN, you know, this is my first one. It kicks butt. I'll absolutely love the heck out of it. First gear is super low. You know, it's like you can out rev this thing at 10 miles per hour in first gear. It's a super low gear. And yeah, this truck does have the 410s. I mean, this is the max tow truck. So I mean, comparison, I don't know what kind of tangent I just went on, but comparison between those ones, this transmission, I absolutely love the heck out of it, except for that shifting, not an issue, but just the way it shifts in the lower end when you're kind of going slow or something like that. It just doesn't like to shift first gear type of stuff. But overall, I can barely feel this transmission shift when it does, or when it downshifts. It finds all the right gears, anything past third gear. But fuel mileage, it is what it is. I get 8, 9 when I'm towing. The best I've ever gotten was 16, and that was actually me doing the math. It wasn't just the truck. The truck was actually pretty accurate. It's like within a half, like 0.6 on the mileage on the truck itself. So it's pretty accurate. But if you're buying a truck like this and you're complaining about the comfort and the fuel mileage, you don't belong in a truck like this. Go get yourself a 2500, because it's a truck. It's a truck made to tow. If you have soft suspension, guess what you ain't doing? Towing heavy. So, I mean, you guys can let me know. I mean, yeah, there's some trucks out there that are super stiff ride. It is very annoying, even if they're loaded. But this is the perfect in-between. I mean, I can daily drive this if I want to. I mean, actually, I kind of do at the same time because it has AC, and very nice AC. My second gen, I have to still charge the AC system. I haven't gone to doing that yet. So overall, I hope I can answer a few of your guys' questions. Comment down below if you have any extra questions. I hope I was able to cover a little bit of what's going on with this truck. 20,000 miles on this thing now. I can't believe how fast that came. She has been a workhorse. I have more tow miles than I do like trucking miles on this thing. I think, let me check and see here. All right, so I was wrong. I have 8,100 miles of tow miles on this truck and 20,000 miles. So I'm almost 50-50. There's been tons of trips I've done just long hauling, or not long hauling, but doing trips to Idaho back and forth. I wasn't towing anything, so that kind of adds up there. I probably have like 2,000 miles of Idaho trips in this truck, just right there. So, but I mean, 8,000 tow miles already on this thing, and I'll say 80% of the time the trailers are loaded. So there's been times I've been empty, but I mean, I don't know. Again, I hope I answered your guys' questions, or if you're thinking about buying one, in my honest, full opinion, buy it. You can't go wrong. This truck is a workhorse. It will take care of you if you take care of it. This thing has been an incredible investment. And I mean, I don't even know what the heck they cost now, but I got this truck at a halfway decent price. I think out the door I spent like $72,000 on this truck, if I remember right. Yeah, she's a kick-ass truck. I love it. I really don't have much else to complain about it. There's always a few little knickknacks that you're not going to like on any truck you buy. Go ahead and build your own something like this. I doubt many people can. There's probably some crazy people out there that can build something insane. And a lot of people have told me, why don't you just buy a big rig? I don't need a big rig right now. I am not in that weight class whatsoever. I'm not going to go spend another $90,000, $100,000 on a big rig. I mean, I've seen some cheap ones for like 10, 20 grand. Sam and I have been looking at a few here and there, but for the bulk of what I do, that's just way too big. Because if I buy a big rig, I'm getting a 50, 60 ton lowboy for it. And I'm going to be hauling, you know, like Cat 320s or, you know, 950s or just big stuff. But I am not up in that tier as of now. This truck, I can put a 28,000 pound machine on this thing and go. That is more than enough for what I do right now for the business. And if I outgrow this truck, so be it. Then, you know, a big rig will be in the ropes and I'll have a lowboy. I'm definitely hoping I can get up to that level one of these days. But this truck is 100% the perfect in-between to get what needs to be done and taking care of you. When you're hauling gravel, you're hauling equipment, or you need to go to the store to get a dang some groceries, this truck takes care of itself. It is absolutely awesome. So overall, again, thank you guys for watching. If you have questions or you're curious about something more specific, let me know down below. I love answering your guys' questions, so definitely comment down. Please subscribe if you like the channel, and other than that, you guys have a great weekend. Take care.